Championship round here at Road America, the West Route Alternate Circuit. I am SSR Mayhem, also known as Steve, and alongside me, my partner SSR Bobberts, aka Adam, as we bring you the live action here tonight at Road America. And Adam, we are in the final week of the season. 4 weeks. It wasn't a very long season, and most of the series usually draw out to 5 to 10 weeks. It's definitely seems like we just started this race not too long ago, but it's been an action-packed season, and last week, well, we definitely seen some action.
Well, we certainly did in the reverse grid. I mean, as we said a lot last week, yes, race from had its action, but it was a little bit on the, dull side, but not a great deal happened. But, race 2 was a completely different story. It was action-packed throughout, no matter where you look, the front of the pack, the back of the pack, the mid pack, there was action here, there, and everywhere. So, as to what we're going to expect, I hope we have a repeat of race 2, but obviously we have to wait and see as we have our usual protagonists at the front of the field.
And you talked about race 2 last week and how energetic that was and wild, and that was some hard racing last week, and definitely did not expect. We saw racing for 20 laps straight, 4 to 10 cars almost sometimes on the track, bunched up. And you talked about race 2. Race 2 was that. I mean, we saw 4 cars going 3-4 wide. We saw 5 wide at one point in the race. It just seemed like no matter what happened in that race, it was extremely, extremely intense. And not only that, but the lead in that race too. That was fun to watch. And Gigi fighting his way to possibly get, up there, but had a battle with Uranium real hard. Going into this final round, and we got the points loaded here right now. Gigi is currently ahead in the points by 112 points, Adam, and Diamond Man's right there too. He's behind by 114 points, and really the top 4, including Starlord, who's right there. He's about. Oh, he's a little bit more than that, but what's it going to take for Amoeba or Diamond Man to nip Gigi here? And is there any way that they can become, the title holders at the end of today?
They're gonna have to hope for a miracle. I think it's a simple thing to that. As you said, yes, it's very close between it. Second, third, and fourth. They're literally separated. Well, second and third are separated by 2 points. It's further falls back to Crispy. Gigi with that 112 point gap. He may have only won 2 of the 6 races. Yeah, he's won the same number of races as Outlaw. Obviously, Outlaw, unfortunately, did miss. Had some tough times, I think is probably the best way to put it. But the fact that Gigi, on the reverse grid, he's always been there at the front. He may not have won the races, but he has been in the top 5 for every single race. He's the only driver to have done that. So that's why he's at the front.
And, we're talking about a guy that has pace, and he's definitely one of those guys that has pace, as it looks like we're getting prepared for race number 1. Now, we probably won't start within the next 7 to 10 minutes here, being that we still got a couple minutes till the top of the hour. Some of the drivers still coming in. It looks like SSR Markey should be making the show, did not qualify. But, you talk about it, Adam, and it's just been one of those dominant performances by one driver. Though Gigi has yet to get a second race win, he's been dominant since he's been on the pole. He's been dominant coming up through the field. And if he had a couple of laps in a couple of those races, he might have had a few more wins under his belt this season.
Definitely. I mean, obviously we've had 3 rounds of 3 different tracks. Obviously this is round 4. But yeah, I think the main ones to look back at was round 1. Obviously he was held up at the start when we were at it was Homestead that we were at in round 1. My apologies for forgetting, but he was held up for quite a bit, and he caught up to the front 2 in the last few laps. Just didn't have enough time, and obviously last week he got up to that 3rd place spot, within the first half of the race, but then he came across a Uranium who was on a mission to keep it behind him, and to give full credit to Uranium. He did a fantastic job on holding Gigi off for as long as he did, which obviously meant Outlaw got his 2nd win of this season. But no, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Obviously, he does start on the pole again here tonight, but we just have to see on that reverse grid, depending on where he finishes. If it is 1st place, then what he could do from the back. pause towards the back.
And we'll have to see what happens as we are getting ready to the final minutes of race number 1. And it should be a good one as GG Racing looks to cap off a fantastic season. We're really looking to see what happens here as they prepare for the race upcoming here. So I'll be right back here. And Adam, if you want to go through the starting lineup or what those starting lineup should look like, now some of the drivers not being here, go ahead and do so now while we wait.
Certainly. Well, just before I do, just to give everybody a little idea in terms of what GG have to do if he was to win this championship. So if we were to start, we have 13 drivers here so far. Basing it off that, GG would literally have to have one top 10 finish, and he's got the title wrapped up. So, anything can happen, but it's pretty much well within his grasp. He can easily have this title wrapped up here within this first race. But, as you said, anything can... Excuse me, but obviously we've got that big battle that's going to be for second, third, and fourth, and see who can take the final top spots. But, obviously, as the drivers get ready, we'll take you through the field. So, obviously, on pole position this week... here at Road America West Alternate is GG Racing at the front of the field once again, and alongside him again, just like it was last week, and I think the week before, and maybe the week before that as well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but is LMP MEA. Diamond Man, I believe, starts in P3 for his best qualifying position of this series so far, with Outlaw alongside him taking 4th place. SMXJ Yankee starts in 5th with BDF48 Gaming in 6th place. Uranium will be in 7th, followed by Ranger. I don't believe, though, Ranger is... No, Ranger has made it, so Ranger does start in that 8th spot. And it will then be, if some people don't turn up, obviously we are still waiting a few people, but it will be LMP Crispy or start P9 if Ink does not show up. Starlord will round up the top 10, followed by DOR Stroll at 12th spot. And then we need to wait and see if the likes of Marky and Numi turn up, or else Saboteur and Alerty will round up the field. But this is going to be a very good race. Obviously, there are a lot of tight, twisty sections. We do have, the long straights where these trucks can reach over 140 miles an hour. I don't know what that is in kilometers. Do not ask me to work that out. I don't work like that. But let's see what's going to happen. I don't work in, metric or whatever you want to call it. Hang on, or am I in metric? I don't know. I work in miles an hour. That's all I need to know. If you don't, you can Google it, whatever that is. I think, Steve, we need to just wait for you to spectate so we can get going.
Well, they are waiting a couple more minutes to 5 after to get the race number 1 going. That's just to let any late goers, obviously we want to get the field in as much as possible, and that's the point behind it. So we will be getting ready to go here momentarily, as it looks like about 13 drivers are here. Thought Marky was on the way, but it looks like he is not gonna get in. So we're gonna take a moment here and basically look, see if there's anything else we need to run through. And it looks like we're good on our end. All right, so we're gonna get going here. I'm gonna let Outlaw know to announce the troops to head out. All right, so race number 1 getting ready to rock and roll. Looks about 17 hard laps here. I thought he'd put 18 on because I know they're doing that pace lap. I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be 16 or 17, but give or take, so that should be fine. And obviously,
I think the main thing with this, Steve, is it's actually fuel. Fuel is actually quite a bit of an issue. So it's gonna have to be maybe something to do with that. Maybe, could be wrong, but I had a little go at these trucks just before, actually, in all honesty. But yeah, fuel is actually a problem on this track for these trucks.
Well, we're gonna find out and see what happens here, but nonetheless, here we go. And this is exciting. It's a championship setting. Nothing like it, when you get to that championship week, you put all the practice, all the hours, the qualifying, you put all your heart into it, and it comes down to this. And Bobberts, I know you've been there at one point here and there, and take us through what might be going through some of these minds, drivers that are in contention for a championship, the driver that's ahead in the championship, what is going through their minds in this stage of the season?
Well, as I briefly explained earlier, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I think Gigi literally only needs to have a top 10 finish in his first race and he's got the title wrapped up. So I think he's just going to go out there and enjoy himself. As I think, he does enjoy himself every week, but I'm just saying there'll be less pressure perhaps come race 2. As for the guys behind, obviously they can only just hope for the absolute, obviously, I hope that the absolute worst doesn't happen to Gigi. He's been at the front of this whole series long. But that's what as he wants to go sliding already. But the likes of Amoeba and Crispy and Diamond Man, obviously they will want him to have a bad race. Well, in fact, he'll need 2 bad races for them to have any chance. And even then, they'd have to win the race themselves. Well, so I think realistically, the likes of Amoeba, Diamond Man, Crispy will fight it out for that 2nd and 4th place respectively.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Some of the drivers not here with us, but things do happen, and obviously we got over half the field, which is phenomenal. Again, we've had a great season, a great showing of drivers in this nice little series here at MEA. And I tell you what, Bobberts, this replay camera here at Road America at this particular circuit is one of the best I've seen in probably all of Forza Motorsports. So it's going to be fun to watch from our point of view here at MEA, the broadcasting point of view. And we're going to ride with Amoeba to start this race. But Bobberts, what is Amoeba going to have to do in order to get to the front of Gigi?
Literally send him. That's what he's going to do. I mean, I don't know which side Gigi's going to start. And obviously, you got that very tight first couple of corners, a little chicane section. So I don't know what the best part is. But obviously, then you've got that long run down through the kink into the hairpin zones, into big braking zones. So Amoeba's just going to have to stick with Gigi. He's going to have to put a move on him early and hope to, maybe force him wide a little bit, get him unsettled, and that might help him. But that's asking quite a bit, as Gigi's deciding he wants to have the inside for turn 1. So that's where he's going to be, is to come around the final little loop.
Well,
and as we start here,
this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get it rocking and rolling. Bobberts, week number 4, green flag is in the air, and these guys are racing at Road America. And just like that, Bobberts, Gigi to the inside, like you said, taking that inside line for the first turn, and there's Amoeba falling right behind him.
Indeed, I was on board with the Uranium. That's the front has gone, well, the front couple of them still have gone in single file, still too wide as we come down the first straight. Oh, that's, who's that? Is that a Starlord going wide? No, it's BDF Gaming. Completely going on the grass, and he's dropped a whole bunch of positions. I think he might have.
And Amoeba's off the track.
Last.
Amoeba into the grass, and he loses 2, 3, possibly 4 positions now as he drops back into the 6th spot as Uranium goes to the inside, side by side.
There was a lurk, he actually got a really poor start to heat for what he's done at the back all on his own, but anything can happen. There could be but Yankees had a great start.
And here it is. Bobberts, look at this. We've seen 2 of these guys all season long. If you want to talk about a guy that's been semi-dominant, if you look outside of Gigi, that's SSR Outlaw, who's had a couple wins on the season, and he's right behind him.
He was, yes. Well, I spoke to Outlaw just before, and he was saying, he was thinking he would maybe get a chance of winning race 2, but he never thought he had a chance of winning race 1. But look, he's the only guy, or the only driver, I should say, who's anywhere near Gigi, so he's going to put the pressure on him to try and get his first race on victory. But they've got a big gap behind him. Jay Young is a big they're all still together.
Well, you talked about that all season long. No one's really been able to challenge Gigi in race 1, and obviously in race 2, Gigi's had to fight through the field. This is the first time, I think, Bobberts, that we've seen Outlaw and Gigi, 2 of the most dominant cars in the series, battling for position right now.
Indeed, yes. I mean, obviously, when it comes to race 2, Outlaw has won 2 of them. He's been at the front most of the time on his own, and Gigi's the one who's come through the field. So, yes, I agree with you completely. As I'm just having a look at the moment with Amoeba, look, tried out as they've got the LP guys running 6th, 7th, and 8th in the train, and Ranger's leading that train, and Amoeba's had a really poor start. He's not only very good in race 1, he's normally gets those podiums, but he's not had a good one here.
And we talked about what did Amoeba have to do in order to make something happen today. Not making mistakes was probably on that list, and right now he's paying the price for I don't know what happened, Bobberts. So I was riding with him. It looked like he just overshot the turn, went too wide, and the grass. You know how Forza Logic is with that grass. It takes you and it just tears you wide, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So right now he's got a lot of work to do.
Just
meanwhile,
that Lord.
Well, meanwhile, Diamond Man 3rd in the point standings right now. He's in 5th. Go ahead.
Uranium going to the inside of Jay Yankee, just ahead of Diamond Man, and gives Yankee a little bit of a shove to saying, hey, I'm here. I want to come through. I want to get into that podium.
And Uranium, one of the drivers that said he probably wasn't going to be able to make it today, was able to make the show, so we're glad to have him. And here's a guy, Bobberts, that has been rather good throughout the series.
Yes. I mean, he's been improving race by race, and obviously, last week at the Yas Marina circuit, Uranium did do very well, performed very well, got that second place in race 2, and here he is, starting P7, he's made his way up into 4th. As MEA has actually got past his teammate at Rangers, and he's back into 6th place trying to chase down this little group. But it seems like from GG is now stretching his legs over Outlaw. Don't know if Outlaw's made a mistake or if that's just GG just doing what GG does.
And right now riding with Uranium, and Uranium right there in that 4th spot starting to lose a little ground. He's clipping the grass just a little bit. They're not sure if that's affecting him at all. Meanwhile, Jay Yankee not getting deep enough into the corner. That brings Uranium right back to the bumper. And Bobberts, we talk about Yankee here, and Yankee's had an up and down season. Week 1, not very good. Week 2, struggled. Week 3 and 4, obviously, I don't even think he was here last week, and if he was, I don't remember it. I'd actually have to remind that, because I think he was out last week. He's been one of the drivers that's been struggling, but that has shown strength in the truck all season.
He is. I mean, Yankee, as he's proven, he's got the pace. But maybe I don't know if it's maybe perhaps more of a one-lap pace, and he's just struggled for race consistency. So, so here we are again. He's, towards the front of the field. He's in that 3rd place right now. He's had a good start, but he's got to keep the consistency going. So we've got a bit of a train development here. He's got ahead of the teammate Ranger, and Ranger's gone wide, and BDF Gaming trying to go on the inside of the loop as they now go to start lap 6. As he comes to lap 1, he's come the wrong side of that. Invite Starlaw down the inside.
And Star-Lord, he's currently 5th in the point standing. Started week number 1 and 21st in race number 1, finished 10th, and then was able to get a top 10 or top 5 after that. He's been showing a good sign in these trucks all season. And you talked about poor starts. I believe you even said he had a poor start at the beginning of this race. He started about, I believe 5th or 6th, and he's dropped as far back as 9th and hasn't moved since.
Well, he was in 10th. He's just got past Ranger, who's lost about 3 or 4 spots in the last 2 laps now. So Ranger, after having a good start, has fallen back himself. But perhaps they all just got a little bit close with each other. Obviously, we know what the first lap is like with these trucks, and we know what their handling capabilities are. Literally, they don't have any. So obviously, it's very difficult. I mean, Starlord actually did start in the mid-pack anyway, Steve. So he's not really lost out too much. I think, looking at it, I think he's actually gained a place more than anything. But you'd expect him to be higher up.
Well, you would expect him to be higher up, but maybe he lost a position earlier, because I know he fell back tonight. I didn't know that he was back in the 10th at one point, so that's something that I did miss. Meanwhile, GG Racing, he's also getting away from Outlaw. Outlaw is starting to lose ground on GG Racing. Now, he had a good start, and obviously not sure if he's had any hiccups along the way, but we know how good Gigi is, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that gap continue to increase. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd is on, Adam, and we got a battle. Uranium looks to the inside as they go through the chicane portion of the racetrack. Wasn't able to succeed. Yankee able to hold him off.
Indeed, yes, and just got on board with that battle as soon as you just said about just mentioning it. And yeah, Uranium trying to find a way through, but it just seems like Yankee has at the moment, is able to hold him off, and it's going to take a mistake maybe if Uranium to get through. And obviously behind it, you've got another duo between Diamond Man and Amoeba, who's now caught up to the. And then you've got that train from Crispy down to Ranger in P10. Then we've got Savitar and Strollbatter now, and Alerti unfortunately all on his own after a mistake or some form of incident on the first lap.
And you pull up the race map, and you can see right there, ladies and gentlemen, what the gap looks like between each driver. And you can see Gigi right there. You see Outlaw, the 2 circle right there on the map. That's the gap on the racetrack that you're looking at. Now, there are a couple battles. You still have Yankee and Uranium, which we are in now. You got Diamond Man trying to hold off Amoeba. And let's get on that battle as Uranium's now in the rear bumper of Yankee. And Amoeba trying to regain what he's lost, Adam, since the start of this race.
Yes, obviously he got past his teammate. Don't know whether or not team orders were involved. But, Yankee's got, sorry Steve, Yankee's going to fight. This is Uranium's chance. They're side by side going through the loop.
And I could see him from
And
this point of
got
view. And yep, he just got underneath. I mean, we talked about the patience of SFR Uranium. Now, remember last week, Adam, he had to hold off. Now, we're talking about Uranium here. He had to hold off GG Racing for about 3 laps at Yas Marina, and he ended up succeeding in that. You know, now we see him on the other end, and Uranium's got kind of the complete package deal. You know, he knows where to defend, and he knows. I'm sorry, I'm butchering there, but he knows how to attack as well. Be very patient. A lot of these guys don't have the patience to get by other drivers, and usually ends up in an accident.
Indeed, yes. Obviously, this is what creates the cat amongst the pigeons. I don't know if that's the right metaphor to use, but it's the metaphor that I have used. But I agree. Obviously, every driver's got their own style, as we know. But obviously, you know, some are more controlled, more patient than others. And obviously, as you've just shown, all it took was a mistake from Yankee, and then he can capitalise on it. And there you go. He's in 3rd place. He's actually pulling away slightly and going to try and close down his teammate.
Oh, looks like Diamond Man and Amoeba are actually catching up to Yankee. Wonder if that will ever turn out to a battle. Yankee makes another micro mistake, a little loose. They all get loose off that corner, but he got... Oh, look, Amoeba to the outside, side by side with Diamond Man. Wasn't able to hold in. He had to lay off just a little bit, get back in line with Diamond Man right there. Amoeba trying to make things happen. He knows points matter in Bobberts. We talk about how patient drivers need to be, but if you're in that points hunt right now, you need to go after every position in race number 1.
Most definitely, especially as well, your closest rival is the car that's right in front of you. And you know, with these two separated, I think these two separated by 2 points.
2 points.
4 points.
I believe it's 2
2
points.
So if they were, it is 2 points. So if Husu was to finish as it was, Diamond Man would actually leapfrog Amoeba, and he'd be the one that would be 2 points in front. Come to the second race of this, this round. So these two, as I said, are battling it out for that 2nd place.
But you know, you gotta also think here, Adam. How much do these two want to fight? Because they're still 2 positions back from GG, and they know they're the closest ones to win a championship if they want to stop the guy that's currently in the points lead. So, I mean, you know they're going to duke it out, but how much duking out do you do?
In all honesty, obviously, with the lead GG's got, it's 4.5 seconds clear of Outlaw as we speak, because I've just checked the race stats. I just think they're going to have to pass them for 2nd place now. I think it's gone. The championship's gone. GG's well out in front. He's got nothing to worry about, and he's got it all under control. So these guys, as I said, the likes of Crispy, who's now in 7th place, obviously behind Amoeba, and Diamond Man, they're going to battle between themselves.
And BDF Gaming right now trying to get back up to the rear bumper of Crispy. Those guys are duking it out with Starler behind. Meanwhile, Ranger lost the tail of the field. Further back, 11 and 12, Savitar and Stroll not too far apart from one another, and obviously Alerty with the unfortunate start of this race back there in that 13th spot. To talk about this man right here, let's get on board with him. GG Racing, I mean, there's nothing to criticize right now. I mean, he's been this way all season long in race number 1. He's been on the pole. He's battled with a couple other drivers. Obviously, in week 2, back at Long Beach, Gamian gave him a little bit of a run there. And, you know, obviously GG didn't win any races in week number 2. But here he is doing what he does best and making it work. Just very consistent right now.
Definitely, and again, that's what separates, good drivers to great drivers. GG, some guys may be able to put the same times as GG could do, but the thing is, GG could do it pretty much lap after lap after lap, and that's what makes him the driver to be.
And I mean, you look at the race map, and you can see that gap. I mean, he's not too far behind, but GG's already in the next turn. Outlaw's coming out of that turn. And Outlaw looks like he's actually getting caught up by Uranium right now, who's having a phenomenal race as we speak. And, you talk about the difference between the driver's skill, and you say good to great drivers. And, what makes drivers great? Being fast, but being consistent. You can be that guy that gets that one sweet lap, but if you can't do it over and over and over again, it makes it super difficult to stay with guys that can be that consistent. Or right now, obviously, Outlaw and Uranium, they're trying to make it work. They just can't seem to get it down right now.
Most definitely. Well, one thing I've noticed is I think Yankees made another mistake at some point on that lap, and Diamond Man, he's now getting very close to the rear bumper, and he's bringing Amoeba to the party as well, so we could have a nice little three-way battle here for 4th, 5th, and 6th behind him. Crispy still leading a train of trucks himself, obviously with BDF Gaming in 8th, Starlord in 9th, obviously Rangers now falling off the back of them. But yeah, it does look like Amoeba
Well, and you know,
and Diamond Man are closing in on that.
I really feel like at this point in the race, Diamond Man and Amoeba have been faster than Yankee. Yankee's been making small mistakes. He hasn't been very consistent in the car. He has the pace. He just isn't able to keep the consistency, though, and I think that's what's costing him, because they were catching up to him a few laps ago, but obviously it's starting to really show. You know, they're right there. They might be able to pounce, and you know, that extra position can go a long way for these guys, though, like you said, at this point, unless Gigi has an accident and falls back a few positions, I think they're basically battling for that second spot.
I think what Diamond Man wanted to try and do, he did want to try and put Yankee in between himself and Amoeba, so it just gives him that extra, you know, those extra 4 points, which can make all the difference come the end of this championship, obviously, as he wants to get into that second place overall, as Yankee makes another small mistake. And Diamond Man is there now.
The one thing that Diamond has to be careful about, though, is the move. It can be a great thing to get by Yankee and put him between them, but it could be a very, very costly thing if he makes the wrong decision and then loses that position to Amoeba.
Exactly. He's got, you know, quite a bit to gain, but he's got a hell of a lot more to lose. And in this case, his loss is if Amoeba gets ahead of him and extends that gap between them. So he's got to be careful, he's got to be precise, and he's got to put, you know, make the move where it counts and when it's actually there and it's available to him. So obviously at the moment he's a little bit too far behind Yankee. Oh, did he make a mistake there? Diamond Man, yes, Diamond Man did make a little mistake going into the heaviness, but Amoeba a little bit closer, but obviously this section of the track, there's no real overtaking opportunities. It's kind of single file.
And I'm going to hop back a little further in the pack and talk about some guys we haven't talked about so far in race 1. And here we are riding with BDF 48 Gaming, and currently in that 8th spot. He's chasing down Crispy right now. Right behind him, Starlord, as these three have been in a train formation. But I think they're actually catching up to the three in front, which would be the Yankee, you know, Diamond Man Amoeba group.
The lapping quite similar times. There's a couple of 10s in it here and there. Amoeba's got a good run on Diamond Man here. Goes to the outside again of this left-hander. Has he got a little low bar this time? Yes, he does. And he's going to have the inside into the loop, so this is Amoeba's chance to get ahead of his
Diamond Man makes a mistake. He got two sideways, lost the truck, and Amoeba goes to the inside, Adam.
And there we go. And obviously there, as we just stated earlier on that lap, Diamond Man had a bit to gain and a lot to lose, and he's got the latter half, unfortunately.
So just like
so Amoeba
that,
obviously recovering and getting into that fifth place.
Well, just like that, like you said, you know, and I pointed it out. I said if Amoeba can get to him, you know, it'd be great for Amoeba, but if Diamond Man makes a mistake, would it cost him? And it did. I mean, he lost a position from it, and now he's losing Amoeba a little bit there. So you got to think right now. You're racing for you know, you're not racing for really much of the title at this point, as long as GG wins. But you know, these guys are going to duke it out for that second place spot. You know, Diamond Man, he ain't afraid of no challenge.
Oh, definitely not. As he had a little look there into that little right-hander. In fact, Yankee's actually pulling away, and these two are holding themselves up, and that is bringing that pack of three up that we led by Crispy ever, you know, closer and closer as each lap goes by. As you can see them there just in the background. So you can't. So yeah, Yankees actually gone.
Well, and that battle really showed, because if you watched when Amoeba got to the inside, Diamond Man tried to give him a little bit of a door tap, but lost the truck a little bit from the tail end, got him sideways into Amoeba, which actually slowed down their momentum. Now look at this. Diamond Man trying to get to the inside of Amoeba. Can he get the nose in there, though? Oh, man, this is real close. He gets the nose to the inside, but can't seal the deal. And he's not backing down just yet, Adam.
Definitely not. He knows that he needs to be ahead of his, ahead of Amoeba. As Crispy again, just going off the last lap again, was slightly faster. They are gaining. So, Amoeba going onto the grass slightly there with his left rear tyre. Is that going to give Diamond Man the run down the straight into the braking zone of the hairpin? Yeah, these trucks are difficult as it is, and cleaner to get stuck. How's he going to do it behind him? He's going to have a look down the inside.
Goes to the inside.
Yes,
oh, but he didn't take the chance. He was going in too hot.
Broke himself. Amoeba's
Oh, look at
outbroke
that!
himself.
And just like that, I can't believe how hard these two are battling right now. I mean, Diamond Man had the run, decided to lay off. Amoeba thought he was going to do it, and then overshot the turn, and that gave Diamond Man the pass.
I think Diamond obviously was just going to make sure he broke at the correct points, he didn't overshoot the corner, and he forced his opponent into a mistake, and he's just done it. He's done back to what Amoeba did to him, and we're back as we were, except they're now so far behind again that I don't think they're going to have any chance on, catching him back up again.
Look a little further back. Ranger and BDF 48 Gaming's in the picture. What happened to Star-Lord? He's no longer there.
Star-Lord must have made a mistake.
Looks like it. Well, as of right now, Bobbers, Stroll would start on the front row alongside Ranger for race number 2, so keep an eye on that. I mean, obviously, Star-Lord was sitting at 3rd spot, but, I don't know about you, Bobbers, but we haven't seen it just yet this season, and I think it would be very cool to see if GG Racing can pull off one race win in race number 2 this season. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of see. I want to see if he can pull it off. He's been so close all season.
Oh, hello. Yankees made a
major mistake.
Bad mistake. Amoeba's back at a Diamond Man, and now Amoeba's on the inside of the Yankee.
And Amoeba, he lost the truck. Oh, look at this! It brings the rest of the guys in the mix. And you said it right there, Bobberts. You even brought it up. The fact that he made the mistake and it slowed Diamond Man down, gave Amoeba the run. Amoeba gets to the inside of Diamond Man, and then all the carnage happens, and now we got a 5-car battle for position 5 here. And look at BDF 48 Gaming to the inside! 5th, 6th, 4th. Goodness gracious.
Not the way he got out of Crispy. But he's out of it.
This is wild. And Star-Lord
back up as well.
He's right there. You caught him at the end of that camera change. I mean, we talked about an exciting race 2 last week.
Oh, Amoeba into the grass. You're not a lawnmower, Amoeba. You're meant to be get on the black stuff. Get off the grass.
And just like that, Diamond Man, Amoeba, and Yankee are starting to pull from BDF 48 again. Now, I know they've made some mistakes, but, that's the gap you kind of want right now, especially if you're Diamond Man, because right now you're trying to get around Amoeba. You don't need to do it. And look at that. BDF 48 Gaming lost 2 positions, or is about to lose 2 positions. Star-Lord trying to get to the inside. Not sure if he got it. Let's get on board and take a look back. Star-Lord not able to seal the deal, so a little bit of chaos right there for the 3 behind. And, I mean, Bobberts, this has been some exciting race in this series. I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed the way things have played out. But these guys have been doing a great job controlling their trucks. I mean, as hard as they are, I was expecting more issues, and these guys have been phenomenal keeping control of their vehicle.
Well, obviously, this is where practice comes in. Obviously, these guys will do. Some will do more practice than others will, obviously. But, this is where practice comes into it, it comes into effect, and this is what cuts out the mistakes, or perhaps reduces the mistakes, potentially, maybe cuts them out completely. But, obviously, it depends if they're running traction or not. I presume they'll be running no traction. But who knows?
And here we go. We only got a couple laps left in this one right now. GG's coming over the line. 1 to go after this time. White flag next time around. And honestly,
it's like Diamond Man's falling behind a little bit.
Well, he has been. We've been riding with the last couple of laps. He hasn't been able to keep pace with Amoeba. Amoeba's got back up to Yankee right now. Meanwhile, the guys behind Diamond Man really haven't gained anything, but Diamond Man's really not where he wants to be right now going into the last couple of laps here. And what I was going to also mention is it looks like Uranium has caught up to Outlaw a little bit throughout the race. Not a whole much that it seems very significant, but he's definitely distanced himself as well from the pack when he, I wonder what would happen if Uranium was up there, because honestly, he's very consistent right now.
Well, looking at the lap times, I've got the lap time delta. That last time, Outlaw was actually half a second faster than Uranium. I think they've just been outdoing each other lap by lap, and one's been quicker than the other, and vice versa. So they're probably equal in pace, those two, which will make a really good prospect for race 2. So they'll be starting, next to each other pretty much. but out in front Gigi now with nearly a 9-second lead. He's on another planet.
And look at this. We're back to the 3-car battles as the Diamond Man's caught up to the 2 in front.
Crispy seems to have just edged a little bit from BDF as well, trying to get involved with the belt in front. But what's MEA going to do? Obviously, he wants to try and get a Yankee, extend his gap a little bit. He's going to have a look down the inside. He's trying to show his nose. But
He thought about it.
Yankee shuts the door.
He thought about it, but it looked like he hit the brakes because he knew the car wasn't going to fit. Yankee was already coming down, but Yankee a little bit too wide there. That gives Amoeba a run on the inside. He's not going to be able to seal the deal, though. And just like that, gets right back in line. Diamond Man's not capitalizing the battle, any real distance with the battle these two are having, though.
I think he's just been making the mistake just before that happens. He's not been there to capitalize. But last lap, here we go.
And anything could happen.
Already halfway around.
I mean, Crispy's right there on the tail end of these guys, and BDF's still there, Starler's still there. I mean, they're all still there. And Amoeba made a mistake off the corner, so he lost a little bit of ground on Yankee. Diamond Man had to hit the brakes, so he lost ground. And just like that, they pretty much separated themselves, and this is probably how they're going to finish up because there's really nobody on anybody at this point of the race. But coming around the final carousel, as we should say here, GG Racing dominates race number 1 and will pick up race 1 win for, I believe, his 3rd win in race 1 of the season as he puts it to a little cider there and has a little fun drifting. Outlaw will end up finishing 2nd as long as he doesn't make any big mistake around here. Uranium 3rd. And then here's this battle of train cars. Though it looks like it's pretty much sealed here as Diamond Man's very much faded off.
GG's managed to roll it.
And here they come. Jay Yankee will take 4th. 5th will be Amoeba. 6th will be Diamond Man coming across the line. I can see it from the distance anyways. Crispy will be 7th. 8th will be BDF 48 Gaming. 9th will be Starlord. 10th will be LMP Ranger. He will start 2nd on the front row in race 2. DOR Stroll coming around the carousel now. He will start 1st in race number 2. SMX Sabotage 12th and 13th is going to be Alerty. And his car is just chilling there, so he must have did a really good job on it. Oh, he's completely flipped. he's on his
completely.
top.
I don't know how he managed that, but he did.
Hope everybody's enjoying that view. All right, well, that's race number 1 in the books, and GG Racing picks up the win. Outlaw comes in 2nd. 3rd will be Uranium. We're going to have a 5-minute break, 5 to 10-minute break. More like 5, I would say at this point. They're going to try to get a couple of the drivers in, as Sensei Renee and possibly Marky should be in it, but we'll have to find out momentarily. And Sensei Renee is already here, so that's good. He's going to start tail of the field, so we'll see what he can do in race number 2. It doesn't look like Marky's going to ring the bell, unfortunately, so that's going to be a little bit of a damper to not see him be able to finish out. But we do know he's going through some things at home, getting some things done, so that is that for that. But outside of that, we do have a 2nd race coming up. Bobberts, what do we take from race 1 and what should we expect in race 2? And I know you're going to say carnage, but let's have a real diagnosis of race number 2.
I'll use a different word then. What can we expect? Well, obviously, but with that mid-pack as such from 4th all the way down to 10th, well, 9th place even, sorry, you know, consistently all together near, well, not consistently, but, you know, on similar pace. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do when they're going to do this reverse. Obviously, so Starlo could technically be like the leader of that train. You know, yeah, obviously Stroll and Ranger will be on the front row. Whoa, what's whoa? Front row. So just to see what's going to happen. I mean, in all fairness, I honestly think that, you know, GG will get through the pack again, as he has been. But it's how long, how quickly can he do it? There's not a lot of opportunities here to overtake here on this track. Maybe 2, perhaps. So he's going to have to take his chances when it comes. And obviously, you know, try and get those laps down and catch whoever's at the front. Because that's what he's been doing. Normally 1, 2 or 3 people at the front. seem
Right.
to pull away, get the gap, and he's playing catch up.
Well, and this is what your order is going to look like for race number 2. Stroll's going to start in the front row next to Ranger. Starler will be in row number 2 next to BDF48 Gaming. In the third row, Crispy and Diamond Man will be alongside each other, following Amoeba and Yankee. So Diamond's going to have the edge in race 2 as Amoeba and him look to continue battling, for that second spot in the championship. And then right behind them is Uranium and Outlaw, and Gigi will be 11th. And then obviously following them will be Savitar, Alerty, and then Sensei Renee. And if anybody else makes it to race number 2, but we will at least have 14 drivers on the track this time. And we'll see what happens as we are preparing for race number 2. And I'm really curious, can Gigi pull it off? I mean, we have yet to see it. We've noticed that he hasn't had the laps to finish the races. We go back to Homestead, we go to Long Beach, we go to last week at Yaz. I mean, he's only been off by a few laps to really challenge, and last week he had to get around Uranium, which was his problem. But, come to think, what could have been, it's really exciting to see what could happen as the results of race 1 have been submitted. In the wrong category, but that's okay, and we'll get that corrected momentarily. You think it would be fun to see if Gigi could pull off a race 2 win? I mean, we haven't seen it yet.
I mean, well, obviously anything can happen in this race. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm not going to say it'd be fitting for him to win the last race, but I think it'd be fitting for him to finish 3rd, because generally that's where he has been in race 2. It'd be good to see a different winner, I think, actually. That's what I hope for in this race, is somebody else to win, somebody else to get the, that final race victory of this particular series. But we're going to have to see what happens between Amoeba and Diamondback. Obviously, Amoeba just got the upper hand. He is 6 points clear of Diamond, obviously, going into this last round. So what are they going to do? They're going to be duking it out once again going into this last race, and it'd be interesting to see, because Diamond Man's going to have to be the one to make the moves.
So we're only a couple minutes away from race 2, but if you're keeping an eye on anybody outside of Gigi, who are you keeping your eyes on?
I'd be interested to see what Outlaw and Uranium can do, because, I know they were in the clean air, but they were obviously the next 2 quickest drivers, I would say. So it'd be interesting to see how they get, if they could get their way through the field. But we're gonna have to wait and see once the.
Well, we saw last week how chaotic
starts.
that was. I mean, they were all over the track, and I think we'll start midway to start this race because of that reason, from a viewpoint, as we get them in here. And we do appreciate the patience of everybody watching. It looks like Alerty is the only one we're waiting to get ready to go. I believe they're set for race number 2. The reversed 11 have been reversed. And we're about to get going, as it looks like we're not going to see no Marky here today, as he's been with us. No Numi.
No Numi as well, unfortunately.
And there's been other drivers. We haven't seen Johnny since a couple weeks ago. We haven't seen Oz since week number 1. So there are drivers that we haven't seen, but we've pretty much had the same numbers every week. I think the last 2 weeks have been our down weeks in the series of drivers being here. But for the most part, the heavy hitters have been here, and it's been nothing but fun to watch. Stroll and Ranger will take that first pace lap around. And you know what I kind of like about this? It seems like the carousel, because it's how long it is to get around, and that's when they usually need to double up. It gives them plenty of time, and you don't actually get to go that fast in turn 1, so you kind of can relax until you get to that big straight. And I think that's really, really critical for some of these guys in the back to be super patient.
Definitely, and obviously this is where some drivers have been able to, if they started from the back, have been able to capitalise on that, and obviously, unfortunately, others haven't been able to. But let's see what's going to happen. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see what Sensei Rene can do for him, obviously, with him starting right at the very tail of the end of the field. At least he's been able to join us here for, second race here for the Road America GP, but obviously this is the very last race now, as Dewar Stroll leads them round.
And we talk about the final race of the season, ladies and gentlemen. The Trophy Truck Challenge, the championship to be given out at the end of this race. GG Racing has already locked it up, but can he finish the season on a high note? Or will we see a new winner in race number 2? Or can Outlaw Uranium show some strengths? As Outlaw's had a couple wins this season, can he get through the field? Or can we see a new face? Can Ranger show us some strengths? We haven't seen many new faces, but the one thing that has been great about the 2 races, Bobberts, is the fact that we can see different guys winning the race. Even though we've seen the same faces for most of the part, it's really fun to watch and see how some of these drivers come up through the field.
Definitely. I'd like to see someone starting at the front of this race to win, to win a race here, but anything can happen. We could have, I will say this now, we will have carnage. There probably will be carnage, but especially going into the heavy braking zone, going down the straights for the first time. But let's wait and see. Obviously, we now have 14 drivers here for a 16-lap race, and Dewar Stroll will lead them away.
All right, well, we're going to ride with SSR Uranium, so we're going to get a little bit of a viewpoint from the mid-pack, back of the mid-pack group. And we are about to get ready to rock and roll as we go around the final pace lap of the series. Now, BDF48 Gaming, I don't know what the heck he's doing. Oh, he had to get back in line. He was out of line. Makes sense. He was way out of line. I didn't even notice he fell off. Well, here we go. Can GG pull off race number 2 for the first time this season? Are we going to see a new winner? The final, technically 16 laps of the season to be underway. Green flag flies, and here we go. As they head into turn number 1, everyone side by side. Doesn't look like anybody's taking any risks as we get on board briefly here. Everybody gets through turn 1 safely, and there they are. So the real racing begins now, and here they go. Amoeba, big mistake, coming off of the corner. He drops back to 12th, and that's a big, big mistake by LMP Amoeba.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't seen it as Raging managed to jump Stroll off the line, and Gaming now down the inside as Salvo trying to follow through. A bit of a banging. It's not bumper, it's not even a side pod, banging wheels. There we go. That's when Stalwart around the outside. Tried it, didn't make it. Stroll cuts across him, but no, Stalwart to the inside. He's going to have the inside line to the right hander, and he takes third place. Stroll from the pole sitters.
So does Crispy.
He's getting bullied.
And
he's getting bullied.
You got to stay tough out there. You can't just give up your position. It's okay to give that room, but you want to make sure as a driver that you're willing to hold your own ground. You get that bump, don't just go wide. Try to maintain it. Don't do what's going to necessarily ruin you. As Crispy goes way off the corner, Diamond cuts to the inside. Yankee, Outlaw right there with him.
And Stroll is just gone from first to 11th.
GG gets shoved way wide.
GG. As Stroll decides he wants to go and be the lawnmower. And, that's sensitive. I thought that was in me, but about no sensitive in A. But that's unfortunate for Stroll. Obviously, he started up there and he's now fallen all the way back. But I want to see where. So, Diamond Man's already made his way up into 4th. And you've got Amoeba. Where is Amoeba? In 14th. Now, this is the one thing I wanted to talk about. He's now going to the 13th. Is Amoeba's second races have not been the best. That's been his downfall this season. He's been up there at the front pretty much on the first races, bar tonight actually. Tonight I actually think that was his worst race 1 finish. But his second races have always not gone to plan at all, and he's been either involved in an incident or something has happened to him. Either he's now actually just taken the 12th spot and Savitar decided to be the lawnmower this time.
Ranger goes way wide off of the corner. Sorry to cut you off there, but BDF 48 Gaming to the race lead as Star-Lord has gone by as well, and the battle now goes to those two men up to the front. And just to
Outlaws made a mistake.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
Outlaw made a mistake.
Outlaw made a mistake.
Well, Outlaw made a mistake prior to that, and I was while you were letting us know about all the information of Amoeba, and I have to agree about that. Amoeba has not been strong at race number 2 at all this season, and it's really been biting him, and he's really going to have to dig deep to get that solid result, because right now, like you said, Diamond Man, I believe, will finish second in the points unless Amoeba can get back up there and do some battling with him. And if you look at the race map, ladies and gentlemen, Amoeba's right there, but if we go further up, this is where Diamond Man is, and Diamond Man, he's in a good spot right now, Adam, as he's currently battling with Ranger for that 3rd spot, and right now, out of all the drivers, I think Diamond Man might be the one to beat in race 2.
Definitely. He's definitely, but saying that, I think BDF is also somebody to look at. He's already got ahead of Star-Lord, and BDF did show good glimpses in that last race of the pace that he had. He was just stuck behind Crispy for quite a bit of that time, as I think he just made a mistake. It's there been. Diamond Man nearly capitalises on it. As, you can see now the front two starting to pull away a little bit.
And it looks like
we just had a lag out.
We'll have to see here. Not sure what happened.
Very long lag out.
This is a very long lag out. We're gonna have to hang in there and see what happened. I'm not sure. Let's see. Is there 14 on the track?
Oh,
nope.
He's down. Sideways. He's completely sideways.
And GG Racing's lagged out. GG Racing has lagged out of race number 2. That is a huge loss, but I think he's safe in the points. We'll have to find out. We cannot officially call him a winner at this point. We know he's ahead, but this is an opportunity for Diamond Man and Amoeba to take over and possibly steal the deal here. I don't think they can, though. If Diamond Man wins it, I think he'll be off by a little bit. I think even if Amoeba gets up there, I still feel like GG is safe at this point in time. So right now, Bobberts is going to do some numbers, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to take numbers from points currently from race 1, adding on and including what needs to happen in race 2. But right now, GG Racing is out of race number 2. And Bobberts, that is
Did we have qualified
huge.
points?
We did. GG did get 5 bonus points. Amoeba got 4.
Yeah. Diamond Man gets
I don't
none,
believe
so.
I don't believe Diamond Man got any, as we're going through all this right now while we watch this battle for the 6th spot with Uranium and Outlaw. We'll move further up. We'll get on Star-Lord, see how he's doing, as he's losing ground on BDF. But Diamond Man has moved up to 3rd now, ladies and gentlemen, and he's on the hunt. So looking at the point standings, you know, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. But going to qualify, Diamond Man did. He got 3 points for being 3rd fastest, so they all 3 got bonus points.
He did.
So how critical did this disconnect hold to GG, as he would finish 14th in race number 2, Bobberts?
So GG's point standing is 1,929, including qualifying and obviously his race win and 14th place points. So let me work out Amoeba next, and I will get back to you.
All right, so while Bobberts tries to figure out what the points it will be after race 1, and see if there's any possibility for either two drivers to take over and after race 2, we're going to hop on here and we're going to check out, as Diamond Man is on a mission, but he was currently kind of just sitting there. So we're going to hop on with SSR Outlaw, currently running that 6th spot. He's currently battling with LMP Ranger for the 5th position. Meanwhile, you got Uranium right on the rear bumper of Outlaw, and we saw these two guys earlier. And GG has...
Simple answer is no. GG's won it.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what happens from here on out, GG Racing will be the champion. And we will get GG in the booth after race number 2 so that he can give his thoughts on today's races. Obviously, you know, Bobberts, we talked, it might have been us that jinxed him. I mean, we especially me, I thought it'd be really cool to see if he could pull off a race 2 win. Hasn't been done by anybody that's won race 1 this season. But nonetheless, we're going to find out. Do we get a new winner on the season? And I believe Diamond Man No, he has not. I thought he might have had a win. The only drivers to win this season, ladies and gentlemen, GG Racing, after race number 1, would be 3 wins on the season. Outlaws had 2 up to this point. He's also missed a week. SSR Markey had a win, and also SSR Yami back in week number 2 as well. So those are the guys that have won races so far this season. And right now, we might have a new winner, because currently the only guy that's won prior to GG up to this point would be Batman Outlaw in the 6th position. And Outlaw currently not having the best of days, as he's stuck right behind LMP Ranger and LMP Crispy in front of him. So Outlaw's got some work to do if he wants to make things happen. Meanwhile, we hop back up to the front pack of Diamond Man, and let's get on board with him. He's not too far off. He's got a lot of work to do. But if those guys behind are battling Bobertson, he's got a lot of time to think of what he wants to do, how he wants to attack currently on Star-Lord when he gets to him.
Indeed, well, I think all Diamond Man's got to do, he just wants to keep it on the track, and he will take the 2nd place in sounds, because obviously, yes, he lost out to, as that Outlaw goes on the inside of Ranger for that 5th place into the hairpin, side by side, runs,
he makes a mistake, though.
Falls of Logic came in.
Uranium gets in front of Outlaw now.
Yeah, I think he and Ranger just locked together and they couldn't get off one another, and that's just falls of Logic for you, unfortunately. So Outlaw stays in his same position, Rangers drop back to a few, Uranium gains a couple, and we're back as we were with Crispy leading that training. And in fact, Uranium lets Outlaw go.
Well, when you got teammates out there, sometimes teammates can be the best of friends in that situation. While that's going on, Yankee's working on Ranger now for the 7th spot. Yankee trying to rebound after a little hiccups in race number 1, but he's right there battling. And right behind him, Bobberts, we go back to that 9th spot. There he is, LMP Amoeba. So Amoeba not getting the starting 1. He fell as far back as 12th, and he's up to 9th.
He's got 10 laps to go. You got Diamond Man in 3rd, and he's down in 9th. Now, obviously, it was 3 points. I'll work this out as well. He finished 1 place ahead. So he is currently going into this race. He was 7 points clear of Diamond Man, but that means he's going to still have to finish 1 place behind him to not get leapfrogged. So that means he'll have to gain 5 places in the next 10 laps. Can he do it?
Well, that's the question. I mean, the positions are right there. He's literally got 5 cars in front of him. He needs to put his head down. He needs to think about what he wants to do on his attack. And if he can do that, he can hold on to the 2nd spot in the point standing. But it's a big task in these trucks, Bobberts. I mean, we're talking about a lot of passes in a short amount of time. Meanwhile, here's LMP Crispy, his teammate, running currently in that 4th spot. He's got Outlaw and Uranium right behind him, though.
Definitely. Well, you got to think, though, obviously, the two of the cars in front of Amoeba are 2 of his teammates. Now, I'm not speculating, obviously, as we saw Outlaw get let through by Uranium, but do you think the LMP guys could work together to let Amoeba stay 2nd in the championship and let him go through? But obviously, he's going to have to get past a few people, because obviously the first man to get past is going to be Yankee, who obviously had difficulty in the last race to get by, so it's not going to be easy for him. But obviously, if we go up to to Uranium and Outlaw, who are gaining onto the back of Crispy, it seems like Outlaw's got the quicker truck at the moment, and he's all over the back of the yellow machine.
That's the question, too. I mean, you got some really good guys in front of Amoeba right now. And further in front of Amoeba than the guys that he's already tracking down, you got Outlaw and Uranium, who've been phenomenal throughout the series. Crispy, his teammate, who's currently playing defense against Outlaw. How long can he hold him off? Will Outlaw make the pass? Will there be a mistake in the mix? I mean, a lot of things can happen right now, but if you're Amoeba, you're thinking, what-if scenarios. Right now, he's not in the position to think of what-if. And Outlaw looks to the inside. Crispy's trying to hold on. That puts Outlaw into the dirt. Outlaw puts the car where probably it shouldn't be, but he made it work anyways, and Uranium gets stuck right behind Crispy.
Oh, did deserve the space there. He got his nose alongside, so there was space. But then I think it's just a case of, just locking together a little bit. But it is what it is. Outlaw's now into that 4th place now, and obviously Uranium's now going to have a good battle on hand, as they've actually pulled away from behind, and Rangers made a mistake, or has let In fact, he has made a mistake because Amoeba and Yankee have both got ahead.
And I was just about to acknowledge that as Yankee did get on by there, and that puts Amoeba right behind him. Amoeba going to work. You know, these are the things, these are the chances, these are the... Oh, look at this. Amoeba to the inside of Yankee. Side by side. And Amoeba's actually on the side he wants to be, but he doesn't get the run because of the bump.
Did the bump actually cost him big style? Yankee now holding the inside through the loop, and start lap number 10. BDF Gaming still leads the way from Star Lord. Diamond Man seems to be actually dropping back a little bit from those two actually, which is a little bit interesting. But yeah, let's see what Amoeba can do about Yankee. Obviously, he struggled in the last race to get past him, and looks like he's going to have his work cut out here once again.
Amoeba, he's being patient. You know, Amoeba's one of those guys that's very, very, very patient. And we know that his... What happened?
Sorry, Steve. Uranium just caught the grass and he locked the rear brakes. I think hit the back of Crispy. Thankfully, didn't cause any damage as such, or it didn't cost them a lot of time. But that could have been a scary moment.
LMP Crispy, one of those guys that have been pretty consistent throughout the season. Hasn't really rang any bells, but he's been in the mix of many fights. He's been up front. He's battled for the lead a couple times this season. He's just been a very consistent driver, just hasn't had the pace like some of these other drivers have.
Indeed, I mean, obviously he has been there or thereabouts. Obviously, yeah, obviously he was actually there towards the start of it as Amoeba now is going dirt rallying onto the grass. I think it's just, again, he's been, like, maybe it's an LMP curse, maybe it's the consistency that's their problem.
But right now,
Possibly.
Diamond Man is dropping off, and he's got Outlaw really catching up to him. I know it doesn't seem significant
yeah,
yet,
I think
but
Diamond
he's on
Man's
the
made
way.
a big mistake. He's
And
made a
BDF
big mistake. So as Amoeba goes to the inside, they're side by side with the Yankee going into turn 1. Yankee's on the inside, Amoeba to the outside for turn 1, but he'll have the inside for turn 2. Is he going to force Yankee off up wide? He doesn't, but he gets the position, and he's past him finally.
Uh-oh.
And is that another disconnect?
Yes. Who was it, though?
Somebody's gone. Someone's in.
BDF 48
It was the
Gaming!
race leader! It was the race leader!
And that is...
That promotes Star-Lord!
Amoeba makes a huge mistake!
Come wide.
And just like that...
He got the deal done.
Wow. What a big turn of events there. Not only did the race leader lag out, Amoeba lost the position again. And we talked about the struggles he's had this season. Race 2 has just never been his thing. He's always been okay in Race 1. I wonder if he just races harder in Race 2, and that's been kind of biting him a little bit.
It's possible. But you got to think, you got to try and cut these mistakes out, or else it's just going to bite you. And obviously, this is going to bite him badly. He's going to lose second place in the standings. Obviously, Crispy actually is a little bit... I think he should stay ahead of his teammate, Crispy. However, it's always Ranger goes very wide.
Very wide. Very, very,
Going
very
into
wide.
a different county or a different racetrack.
All
But
right.
out in front now. Star-Lord is now your new race leader with 6 laps to go, and he's looking comfortable.
And, you know, SSR Starlet's one of those calm, collective guys. He doesn't let a lot bother him in the race. He keeps his mouth shut. He puts the foot down. And he just does what he has to do, and that's drive. And he's in the right position. Unfortunately, with BDF out of the race, obviously he was running second at that time. But now he's in the race position to not only win race 2, but, you know, get to make a name for himself in the series. He's been very good since week 1. He's been phenomenal when he came from 21st to get into the top 10. That was a very big task, I think, for a lot of drivers to do at Homestead. Meanwhile, Diamond Man, he's got Outlaw, this man right here, tracking him down. But does Outlaw have enough time to get to Star-Lord if he can get around Diamond Man?
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough time. I mean, Star-Lord's got a 3.3 second gap over Diamond Man, so he's a good 4 seconds, if not more, ahead of his compatriot teammate. But behind him, Crispy is all sorts of other Uranium is only a truck length behind him, and is looking to try and get a move done ASAP. He's got a little bit of a good run through the right turn, but I think it's close enough going into this 90-degree left before we go around the loop.
And
he's
there's
almost pushing him through.
Oh, you're on Uranium and Crispy. I was going further back, right behind them. Amoeba and Yankee still going at it, and there's a battle for
Crispy's
ninth.
gone sliding. Crispy sliding. Uranium's got underneath him. He's got to move. Here we are, side by side again, like Amoeba did with Yankee. Can Uranium do what Yankee did? Into turn one, he's got to keep his truck in there. No, he doesn't. He tries to go for a cutback to try and give him a better run out of turn two once these excuse me, there goes my throat. My voice onto the long straight, but and he's lost it. But that's it. Crispy's managed to hold him off.
Meanwhile, that's given Outlaw a chance to run away, and the Outlaw's actually caught up to Diamond Man, but not in striking distance just yet. Further back in the field, though, in the ninth spot, Alerty is currently defending off against DOR Stroll, who's currently 10th. They have a nice little battle, and then there's also Sensei Renee not too far off them as well, so something to keep an eye on as these boys go to work further in the field. Get back on Crispy.
Uranium sent it! Uranium's just sent it down the inside. He's having absolutely none of this side by side again, but he's got the wrong line. It says, oh, Crispy makes a mistake.
And crossover. And look at that. Patience is a virtue, and patience is what Uranium had, and he was able to get around Crispy. So now how far can Uranium get with only so many laps to go? Further behind them, Amoeba still working, still trying, hasn't given up yet, but just hasn't been able to seal the deal on Yankee. And then Alerty, he's still fending off DOR Stroll right behind him as well. Stroll trying to make a run, just not able to do it.
Outlaws on the back of Diamond Man Steve. The battle for P2 is hotting right up with 4 to go.
So Outlaw's been in this position before, not this exact position, but in race 2, chance to win it. Starlord's not too far ahead. And look at this. Big mistake by Sensei Renee. Sensei Renee is about to go a lap down on Starlord.
Hopefully he won't get in the way and he'll just allow him to go through. As a completely different contrast of lines between Outlaw and Diamond Man through the hairpin there. I think that's Outlaw didn't take enough speed actually for the hairpin, but he's back on the back of Diamond Man again. I think he has the faster truck. He's clearly got more pace, but this is the thing: it's trying to outwit your opponent, getting a move behind us. Oh, Amoeba's got back ahead of Jay Yankee, so he's now back into 6th place.
And Starlord able to get around Sensei Renee. Now, Sensei Renee is right in front of Diamond Man and Outlaw. The only car let down in the field. Outlaw loses control of the car. Oh, wow. Big save by SSR Outlaw. He almost flipped.
Sensei Renee moving over. Very well done there. That's well done, Sensei Renee. Very nice. Not getting involved with the battling and letting these guys do their thing, but yeah, Outlaw's now lost 100 feet or more on Diamond Man. He's going to have to do that work all over again.
And Starlord, he's right in the distance, but Diamond Man not able to gain any ground. 2 to go, and Outlaw just can't seem to get a run to try to get around Diamond Man to go after Starlord.
I believe Amoeba will be edging Outlaw on to get past him, so then it's another place closer between he and Diamond Man, obviously in their points tally scenario. But Amoeba's going to need a little bit more than just an Outlaw getting ahead. He's going to need a mistake to come into effect and from Diamond Man to keep his 2nd place. But Outlaw is gaining back in again. He is closing the gap, so you can tell he's faster, but obviously cut the mistake out. And it forced Diamond to mistake himself, and here we are, battle resumes.
So Starlord only has a couple more laps in him to stay in front, make no mistakes, and win the race. Further back, Uranium's getting away from Crispy. Amoeba's starting to get away from Yankee. Ranger, well, he's by himself. He did just get around Sensei. And then Stroll has Stroll has passed Alerty. And that's put a battle between Savitar and Alerty for the 10th spot. So Savitar, we haven't talked much about him. He's been very good in GT cars over the years in MEA. The trucks, it's been more of a challenge for him, and right now battling for that 10th spot.
Side by side, P2, P3, side by side through the loop. Outlaw give Diamond Man a little bit, they're still bumping and banging. He tried to do the bump and run.
And they're fighting for that 2nd spot. Outlaw is being right there, and
he's been
trying.
he's been very, very aggressive. I think he knows he's got the faster truck, but he's running out of time. And look at the background, there's Uranium.
And with the battling going on, Uranium's had the opportunity to start catching up to these guys, and obviously Outlaw looks to the inside. Oh, he nips the back car of Diamond Man! A little loose! Side by side off of the corner, Diamond Man to the outside of Outlaw, side by side again. And can Outlaw seal the deal? Diamond Man to the inside. And what excitement between the second spot. And Diamond Man's about to lose it. Outlaw gets the position. Diamond Man still trying, still fighting. Uranium now gets the tail end of the battle. Diamond Man looks to the inside. Outlaw cuts him off going into the next turn. And it looks like Outlaw is safe. I would say he's safe at this point as he takes over the position.
I'll tell you one thing, Steve. If Uranium gets ahead of Diamond Man, look who's in front of Amoeba. It's his teammate Crispy. This could be vital. Amoeba's ahead of Crispy. He's been let through.
And Amoeba
needs to pass Diamond Man. He's passed him.
And a big mix-up for the second spot. The points. Diamond Man back to the inside, side by side with Uranium as they go around the loop. Diamond Man gets back in front of Uranium, side by side, going into turn one.
Oh, he's just good driving from Diamond Man there. He just make Uranium a little bit loose and make sure he had a truck leg. But this is vital.
White flag.
Amoeba is now in striking distance. A Starlord out in front. There's a 4-second gap, and unless he makes a mistake, he's going to get his first victory. Are we going to see an SSR 1, 2, 3 if Uranium can get ahead of Diamond Man?
Oh, Diamond Man's doing a phenomenal job right now. He's done everything he's could in this race. Uranium to the inside! Side by side, Diamond Man uses the car, gets a little bump on Uranium. Uranium has a run going up to the S section. But it's going to be Uranium in the best spot. Can he get in there? No, he does not. Still side by side. He touches the rear quarter panel of Diamond Man, but has to get back in line.
He sends it again. Oh, I thought there was contact there. No, he backed out of it, but Uranium's now not got the exit speed that he needed. But this is getting tense. It's out in front. Starlord has just 2 corners to go.
Uranium looks. Gets a good run off of the corner. Is he going to take a shot to the inside or to the outside here? Uranium, big run, goes to the outside, dips to the inside, big move to the inside! Side by side, coming off of the corner now as they go into the carousel. And they touch! Uranium gives a nudge, he lets Diamond Man get to the inside. Does he try to cross over? He hits the gas, he puts it to the floor. He's not going to have it. Starlord wins the race! And Uranium...
He's going to have the exit speed though, but no! Diamond Man just hangs on, and if my maths was correct, he takes second place by
Amoeba,
1 point.
5th, 6th, Be Crispy 7th, Jay Yankee 8th, Ranger 9th, Louis Stroll 10th, Louis Avatar 11th, Lurdy 12th, Sensei Renee, who still has to take another lap. Obviously Outlaw with a fantastic run. It looks like Outlaw wrecked the car, I think. Yeah, he wrecked the car coming across the line. He'll finish second. And obviously, big win for SSR Starlord as these guys finish up here. Unfortunate circumstances for GG Racing, disconnecting, obviously, race leader BDF 48 Gaming. What could have been for him, and, that's really unfortunate, Bobberts, but you got to race till the end, and no matter what happens, you take the good with the bad. At the end of the day, the best efforts is all that can matter.
Definitely. I mean, I feel for BDF. Obviously, he got a second half lead over Starlord. They seemed to be matching each other, so he had the pace, and he could very well have won this race. So it's very, very unfortunate for him. But obviously, it does mean that Starlord was there behind him to capitalise, take advantage, and he takes the final race win of the season and takes his first win.
And just like you said, Starlord has been nothing but fun. It's been a lot of fun to watch. He's had some quiet races, but from week 1 to the final week, it's nice to see him pick up a win. Obviously, being that guy that tagged along right before the series started, it's got to feel good to get a win. We'll talk to him very soon as Sensei Renee will come across the line after the, I was about to say horseshoe. Well, it kind of is like a horseshoe, but around the carousel for one final time. And that wraps up the Trophy Truck Challenge. GG Racing, your champion. yes, you're champion. I'm sorry, because I was thinking of something completely different there. Of the 2020 Trophy Truck Challenge, we'll get in touch with him real soon. We are going to talk to Star-Lord, so just bear with us. We'll get those two guys in here. And GG Racing and Star-Lord, please turn on your audio as we start getting the final results of race number 2 put in to the MEA standings, and Outlaw just making sure that everybody's positions are correct. But we're going to start with Star-Lord. Star-Lord, just make sure your audio's on. But congratulations on the win in race number 2. Obviously not probably the way you would want to get it, but knowing you, you're the kind of guy, you'll take them as you get them. So big win for you, and obviously starting late into the season, as in late entry for race number 1. You started 21st in that race. You got yourself in the top 10 in week 1, and then in race 2 got a top 5, and as the season's progressed, you've been getting better. You've had on and off races, but to get a win in the final race of the season in a series that you popped in last second, it has to feel good.
Yeah, I'll take it. I didn't know what happened. I was hoping for something, and he just drove into the wall. So, I mean, wouldn't want to be him, because if that didn't happen, he took it and I would have taken second. But
and talk about
so.
and talk about your season in these trucks. Everyone's told us how tough these trucks are. We've heard it over and over and over again. Obviously, Bobberts had a little testing in earlier today and told me the same thing. But being in these trucks, how difficult and how challenging has it been for you this season?
I mean, when I'm in the open and no one's around, which really only happens in the first race or this last race, they're not bad. It's just sometimes you don't know what the suspension is gonna do, and it can send your car any which way, especially when you're battling next to people and you try to just send it to pass them. It's kind of 50-50.
And I think Bobberts has a couple things he wants to ask. Go ahead, Bobberts.
So, just continues on what Steve was saying, Starlord. Obviously, you're signing late. Obviously, you've just been progressing as the season's gone on, and you've had chances. Well, times where you could have had the pace to maybe be up there, especially perhaps on the reverse grid. And obviously today, you did get very fortunate. I think you and BDF were very similar on pace. Obviously, his unfortunate disconnect meant that you got to pick up the pieces, but you did seem to be quite comfortable. I mean, did you feel threatened at all, do you think, behind, or were you quite comfortable?
I mean, Outlaw and GG were in my mind in the beginning, and then GG had the unfortunate disconnect, so I didn't really have to worry about that. So that made it a little easier for me. And then I didn't see Outlaw until a while, and then he was battling with Diamond Man, so I kind of just kept going and pushing and seeing how far I could get until one of them came and nobody came, so I felt good.
Well, Star-Lord, it was a great performance by you, and obviously great to get the win, but congratulations on one heck of a season. If these trucks ever come back, do you ever feel like you'd want to get back in the vehicle again?
Yeah, I'd do it. They're fun. It's something different.
Well, congratulations on a win in race number 2, and congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
All right, and that was SSR Star-Lord. Congratulations to him in race number 2's win. And the man of the hour, GG Racing, race 1 winner. Unfortunate disconnect, but a dominant force all season long. And with that dominance came kind of a relief after a disconnect where he was basically in the hot seat to win the title. And obviously, it's not official yet, ladies and gentlemen, but based off of the numbers that we've ran, he is your champion of the Trophy Truck Challenge. Congratulations, GG Racing, on that. And not only, but, obviously, race 1 win. Take us through your thoughts after disconnecting in race 2.
Well, I was streaming because I thought my internet would be okay. But I really didn't expect to the blackout because I was side by side by a SSR driver. I don't remember who his name was, but then right when I was gonna turn to the right, and that's when the black screen and I see kind of his name. I was like, "Hello, anyone alive? Is the game broken?" And I looked apart. It's like, "Oh, well, there it is."
Well, GG, you've gone through the series. Necessarily, I think this is one of the I think this is the first out of many series that you've been with MEA that you've completed in a complete season. And that obviously things happen, but you were able to make every race of the season. Obviously back in week 2 you weren't able to pick up those wins at Long Beach. You obviously had the battling with Yami, but outside of all of that, you've been so dominant throughout the season. You looked like you were so comfortable in the truck all season long, and it just seemed like you had the pace, you had the consistency, you made little mistakes, and obviously it got you a title.
Yep, the truck. Okay, so it's very interesting from different drivers. I've been hearing from since round 1 that a lot of people are really having struggles with the truck. They say some truck something like Outlaw, he was having issues from the race 2, not round 1, but it was this round from I think it was 10 or something. He said he was having issues braking, so I told him to brake a little harder, and it was I am braking harder. I don't want to lock my brakes. So it was dude, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you a tip. I lock my brakes every corner. How about you try that?
Well,
so yeah, that's how. I guess he came to third place? No, second place. Or see.
yeah, race 2 he finished second in that race, so he had to do some work around Diamond in there at the end. But that,
yeah.
but
then he was yelling like crazy. He was rally time, boys!
and obviously GG missing race 2, obviously a big bummer. Final race of the season. I'm sure you wanted to be a part of it, but going into the season, what did you expect, and did you feel like you could win the championship after week 1?
Yeah, totally. This truck is so comfortable to drive. It's yeah.
And Bobberts, anything from
Pretty
you?
much.
Well, obviously, it would have been interesting, Gigi, to see what you could do, see if you could actually get a race 2 victory or reverse grid victory. Obviously, we couldn't get to see that today, but nonetheless, it's been a very dominant series. From you, you've had pole every week, I believe. Obviously, you've won 3 out of the 4 race 1 victories. You've been. I'm not going to say you've been in a league of your own, but as I said on stream, this is what separates the good drivers from the great drivers. Some people may be able to do your 1 lap speed, from time to time, but you can do those laps consistently, so that's what's put you above, those behind you. But I think the best thing is obviously it's another title for you, obviously in a completely different category. What's your target next? Obviously, if the next series that we do, would you be going to go and aim for that again? Obviously try and get victories, try and dominate it, try and win the title. The main thing as well is, have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's been a year since I did MEA, because I knew I'd take a few months break due to some drama and stuff for me versus everyone on Forza, so I took a break from Forza. I know I did some online racing, not league or events like that. I just been on the how do you call it, the public lobbers. Yeah, so I've been in there a lot of times. So, and I just keep practicing, just ignore the drama on Twitter and everything else. So pretty much that I am back in SQD, working hard. We work together, and since I'm to be back in MEA for a bit because the virus is going on and might be ending soon, because I just heard, I don't know if people know in UK or anywhere else, if you know Arizona, they just dropped the stay-at-home order, so everyone is outside having fun. What I'm being heard from my friend that lives in Arizona now, so it's very interesting to see you don't see cars everywhere now, though now you can see them again due to the virus.
Well, nonetheless, GG, congratulations on a championship. Congratulations on race 1 win. We're glad to see you this season. Hope to see you back in the upcoming series here at MEA. But until then, congratulations on a dominant season.
Yep, thanks guys. I'm looking forward, hopefully next season. Hopefully. How else can I think about that?
All right. Well, that being said, Bobberts, we have seen so much racing from 4 weeks. 2 races per week. Ever since week number 1, since the green flags dropped, it seems like there's just been so much going on, Adam.
Definitely, I mean, obviously we've had, I'm not going to say lackluster races, but we've had more entertaining races than others. Obviously, we had a great little battles happening throughout that second race there again tonight. And, Diamond Man mentioned to fend off Uranium at the end. That might actually help him get that second place in the standings over Amoeba. Obviously, we'll get full points out, obviously, shortly for everyone to see. But it's been a very fun series. It's been great to watch.
And I think, like you just said, it's been great to watch from a spectator point of view. I know I've had a lot of fun. I'm sure you had a ton of fun. I know you've really enjoyed it. And for the many people watching throughout the series, if you're watching this or watching this afterwards, we appreciate you guys being here. Without you guys watching and all the drivers, we couldn't do what we do here at MEA. And Roberts, you can vouch for that. Without the drivers, there's no organization. Without you guys that are fans of MEA, there's no organization. So we appreciate every one of you for sticking it with us and being a part of what we do here. So I want to say thank you to you guys. A big shout out to all those people. And obviously, I want to give a huge shout out to SSR Markey, doing the points, making things happen, so we have a wonderful, beautiful point system, qualifying order. Another big shout out to SSR Outlaw. He is the one behind this entire series, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a phenomenal job. He's taken the ropes. I am very proud of him and what he's been able to do here at MEA, and we're so glad to have him. And I want to give another big shout out to everybody else that's been a part of this. And also you, Adam, SSR Bobberts, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us since week 1 in the commentary booth. It's always a lot of fun to have someone there alongside, calling the races, making things happen. And, you've been spectacular as well, so I really appreciate what you did.
But who's better, me or Steve?
Yeah.
Nobody needs to comment on that one. But no, like I said, it's been fun. Yeah, it's been good to put my feet up and watch the racing rather than take part in it for once.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a while since I haven't seen you be driving in an MEA event where I haven't been calling races with you in it. So definitely a nice break from that, I'm sure. Being a driver, you do all these events, and I know you're doing a lot for your team right now. And it's nice to relax a little bit and enjoy it from a viewpoint. So, but thank you so much for being with me, and hopefully we can see you again in the booth. But I'm sure with a couple of the other series that are planning to come out, I know, I think you're gonna be running them. So it won't be him, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone stay tuned for new series.
But that being said, we do have an event coming up in 2 weeks. Tomorrow we have the NASCAR qualifier at MEA for the Daytona 500. It is going to take place tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. Probably not broadcasted, but 28 drivers have signed up for the series. Only 22 of those drivers will make the 200 lap show next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time in the American time zone, and then that would also be a 5 p.m. British Standard Time in the UK. So keep an eye on that. We got that coming up in the upcoming weeks. And then obviously we also announced the GT Championship Series will be the next series to come back. It is our favorite series here at MEA, at least from a driver's point of view. I know I have my different point of views on different things, but I know from a driver and a fan point of view, that is our pinnacle of MEA. So I know a lot of people are looking from that. And Bobberts, I don't think there's anything else we need to call here, but from me to him, to everybody that's raced here today, Adam, I think it's your turn to say the farewell as we get out of here.
All I'll say first is just watch me come runner-up again in something else. But thank you, everybody. Farewell. Have a great night.